Hey there, folks. A few days ago, this was completely filled with bamboo and clippings from the back. It's been a weird week of off and on rains every day and hard to get shit done, but we've made a little bit of progress. So this first video today, I'm going to show you what's up with the bike restoration. So this is the front fender. You can see it's just how well it comes on the video, but it's just a classic black. One of the hesitations I've had in this bike is it's got, you know, look at this nose piece on here. That is just really corroded. So this bike has suffered a lot of neglect. So, you know, I like my things to look nice. So what I'm thinking, and this is an idea in development, I bought this color shifting paint, and from this angle it's supposed to look purple with little flake in it, and as you get up on top it shifts to a green. It looks kind of cool. It's basically spray bomb stuff, and you got to put it over a base color. And so I painted this little flat tire box black, and then I've painted this color shift over the top to have a look at it. Obviously the surface is really crinkly because it's cardboard, not metal. So I'm going to find a bit of metal, but I think this is the way I'm going to go. Not sure how many cans of this stuff I'm going to need, but it's kind of a cool shift in color. Looks pretty cool. We'll see. So the Troy-Bilt had a flat tire. Josh spent the day yesterday, hence the inner tube. We fixed that flat tire. He then broke the deck belt. I think what happened was a piece of wood got jammed up in there, and he said a lot of white smoke came out of the deck, and I think he just burned up the belt and blew it up. At least we know what belt that takes, and it's not hard to fix. But here's where I'm at with the bike. I've got this calcium, lime, and rust remover I'm putting on the steel bits. It's not doing great here, but it is eating rust from some of the other metallic bits. You can see up close, like the headpiece. This is, I don't know if this is a chrome paint on top of the old chrome, but that's pretty well, you know, bubbled up and fucked up. I gotta finish prepping this and decide what I want to do with that. You can see the chrome on the forks is messed up, and this aluminum has gotten eaten pretty well. But I've bought various paints over here on the pipes. So start off, I'm done wire brushing the frame, and just now I sprayed that rust remover shit, and it actually, on high steel, it's taking that rust off pretty good, so I'm happy with that. Next step is going to be to degrease and wash it, and then mask the frame, and I'll put a nice coat of black on the frame. You can see up, this is pretty bad in here with the rust, so I've spent a day or so wire brushing and prepping, and we'll get a base coat of I've got some gray primer. We'll primer the bits that are exposed, and then try to get some black on there. Now on the pipes and the chrome pieces, I've actually just used so far a wire brush on a Dremel or on a drill motor, and that's come out pretty good. So, you know, chrome is pretty hard, and it takes a long time to actually penetrate through the chrome and actually fuck up the base metal. So I'm a little encouraged by the chrome. Over here on the table, we've got the rest of the bits, and you can see by the pipe extensions, you know, there's some rust, but that's inside, and I haven't even, that's the bottom, so that's not going to get a lot better. But I'm going to wire brush those and see how they come out. And then a lot of bits and fiddly bits to figure out how to clean up and paint. I've got all kinds of scrubbing and grinding shit. And there's the rear fender. And then there's the tank. So the main bits will be the tank, the rear fender, and the front fender. And then the side pieces are some plastic. So that's, we got to find something that'll be a good primer for plastic so that this paint will stick to the plastic. Now on this rear end, I've been experimenting a little bit. So the rear end is the same sort of aluminum castings that the front fork, lower front forks were. And I've basically wire brushed all that. The drive shaft tube was actually chrome. And I bought this two types of quote-unquote chrome colored paint, and to be honest, it's just a bright silver. It's nowhere near chrome, so I'm not going to use much of this paint. I'd rather buff the chrome bits that will buff, and then, you know, leave it at that. I'm going to paint the rear end. Of course, I've got flat metallic silver, and then I got this, in theory, chrome silver. I got two types of chrome silvers, but neither one is actually what I want it to be. So, and I've looked online. Some of these parts you can replace, but you know, eBay being what it is, the shit you have may be better than the shit you buy. One piece of good news is these handlebars are well pitted with rust spots. And the good news is, before Josh sold his 1100, he replaced his handlebars with a pair of ape hangers. So we have a really good set of bars right here. So that's definitely going on this bike. And I'll clean up the clamp head piece because that's not too bad. But you know, you've got the brake reservoir, which I'll clean up and polish. All these bits can be cleaned up and polished. And yeah, that's what we're doing. This front headpiece, although it looks still stained with rust, I'll give it another, see, I rubbed my finger on it, the actual rusty rust is coming off. That shit actually eats rust. I use that shit in my shower because our well produces quite a bit of staining type rust, and this stuff really works good. But this will obviously get painted with that same aluminum color paint that the rear end's gonna get. So slowly, I want to go slow and I want to do a good job, so I'm not rushing anything. One thing I do think I'm going to end up doing while I've got it to this level of disassembly, you can see all the carburetor linkages are all rusty as fuck. And from this point, pulling the carbs is actually pretty easy. So I'm probably going to pull the carbs. Yamaha makes a special tool. It's a dual carb setup, one air box. And you have to, like an MG, you have to balance the carbs airflow with some adjustments. So you need a tool for that. So yay, we get to buy tools. So I'll be buying a vacuum tool that measures the vacuum. Obviously I've got caliper paint, which is 950 degree paint for the cylinders. These add-ons, I don't know if they're probably stock, but these little chrome pieces, they're actually plastic. Let's see if I can find one over there. Yeah, here's one. So these little chrome pieces are plastic, and you can see it's a chrome fucking paint, but I'm not gonna, I don't know. I've looked on eBay when you can find these things. They're like 30 to 40 bucks. So these are kind of unobtainium. I don't know. I may get sporty and paint them all the same color so at least it looks consistent. Alright. So many decisions, so much life. Y'all take care. A little later I'm going to run down the back and show you how Josh and Trey have been getting on with some of the weed whacking. Yeah, they're doing a good job back there, so I'll give you a quick video on that today too. Talk to y'all later.